If a monster is flip summoned several times a turn, can it use its soft once per turn effect several times that turn as well? Or, to put it differently, if my opponent uses an effect that flips my monster face down, can I flip it back into face up position that same turn? Well, the thing is, it doesn't just have to be your opponent. You could also use a card like Book of Moon, which allows you to target one face up monster on the field and change that target to face down defense position, which means you could Book of Moon your own monster to flip a face up card on your side of the field into face down defense. Can you then flip that monster back face up and use its flip effect? That's the question. And if we look at the answers, we can see monsters can only change their battle position once per turn. So you can't abuse flip effect summons specifically. However, you can repeatedly use the same flip effect in a single turn by using cards like Book of Moon and Book of Taiju. So Book of Taiju is the opposite of Book of Moon, where it allows you to flip a face down defense position monster into face up attack position. And if we look at another answer, Nicola here says it depends. If the monster was already on the field, then yes, it can be flipped that turn. If it was summoned that turn, then no, as you can't manually change the position of a monster the turn that it's summoned. So this is something that's very key here, this manual change of battle position. Now if we look at the rule books, what does it actually say? You can change the position of each monster you control, except in 3 cases. So case 1, you cannot change the battle position of a monster that was played onto the field this turn. Very similar to what Nico was saying here. 2, you cannot change it in the main phase 2 if the monster already declared an attack during the battle phase. And 3, you cannot change it if you have already changed its battle position once per turn. So what does that mean? What is the answer to this question? Effects like Book of Moon don't manually make you change the battle position. It was done so because of a card effect. And the rules state that you can only manually change the position once per turn. So because you didn't manually change the card into face down defense, you can, again, that very same turn, decide to use that once per turn manual change to flip it back face up into attack. However, like Nico says here, you can't change the position of a monster the turn that you summoned it, just like it says in the rulebook. So when you put down a monster already up on face up attack and a card effect flips it face down defense, you already set that position to face up attack once. Even if you're changing it back to that same position, that would be considered a second battle position change, which you're not allowed to do. You have to wait at least one more turn to flip it up again because you already changed that battle position once. However, if you set a monster that turn and it gets flipped down face down by Book of Moon, you can use a card like Book of Taiju to flip that monster back face up. And if you do flip that monster back into face up attack and it has a flip effect, then yes, you can actually use that flip effect a second time because you are flipping the monster from face down defense to face up attack. Now the thing that made me think about this question is that I was watching a video where Moist Critical was playing Team Samurai on one of their duel nights, and Moist Critical himself was flipping one of his cards face down because of a card effect, and immediately after flipped it face up on that very same turn in that very same main phase 1, and then went into an attack with the monster that he just flipped down and flipped up in that same turn and used that to destroy his opponent. So that's what got me thinking, is that legal? And there was a ref on the site that said it was, so I had to double check it, and that's what we found out. Now if you have any more questions on card rulings that are a bit difficult to understand, hopefully I'm doing a good job at explaining it to you. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and ask us what rulings you want us to clarify next. And also make sure to support us on Patreon or on OnlyFans or whatever links we have in the descriptions down below. We have merch coming soon, guys, so make sure to stay tuned. And again, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and we'll catch you guys next time.